Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the USB 3-EX2C330R-K USB extension kit. This product was engineered to make it really easy for you to share a USB connection from one location with a second remote location up to 330 feet away over a single Cat6 or Cat7 LAN cable. The transmitter module provides dual USB-C ports for connecting two different computers that you can easily switch between by tapping the button on the front to share those remote peripherals. It also includes two USB-A ports that you can use for connecting local peripherals at the primary location, like a camera or a microphone, that are immediately seen by the selected computer. The transmitter module provides two USB-C ports and two USB-A ports for connecting additional peripherals like a camera, a microphone, or a keyboard and mouse that you can use to remotely control the computer at the primary location. The entire solution fully supports USB 3.0 as well as USB 2.0 products and utilizes the latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply plugged in at the primary or the secondary location is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, because the power required for the other module is sent across that LAN cable. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing first, just to show you everything that's included with the kit. And then I'll take a closer look at the transmitter module and the receiver module, and I'll explain the connections and indicators so you understand exactly how to use the product. I'll list the features and functions that this product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how easy this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find a single 24-volt, 3.75 amp DC power supply, and you've got a cable you can use to plug it into the wall. So the standard 3-prong here plugs into any standard wall outlet, and the computer end of it plugs into the power supply. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it with a locking collar, and this can plug into the receiver module or the transmitter module because of that PoE capability, and the power needed for the other module is sent across the LAN connection. You'll find a set of brackets that you can use to mount these two modules up off the ground and out of the way. And both of these modules transfer RS-232 control signals, and there are some connectors here you can use if you'd like to use that feature. And then finally, a full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and a whole lot of other good information about the product that you'll want to understand in order to use it correctly. So always read through that manual. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both modules, I'll list the features and functions, and then I'll come back and do that demonstration. Inside the kit, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them a great choice for both residential or even commercial installations. Let's start with the transmitter module first. On either side of the cabinet, you'll find these ventilation slots that are designed to let any heat that develops during operation escape to keep the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. You'll also find mounting holes on both sides that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, is a power indicator. When you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test where it checks the electronics, and once it passes that test, it'll light that LED, letting you know the module's ready to use. To the right of that is a link indicator. When you power up both modules and make the connection using the Cat6 or Cat7 cable between them, that connection is checked, and once it's been verified, the link indicator will come on solid, letting you know you have a good connection. To the right of that is a USB indicator. When you connect the USB device to the rear of the unit or at the remote location once the connection's been established, the USB indicator will come on, letting you know you have a peripheral connected. To the right of that are two more LEDs labeled Host 1 and Host 2, and these indicate which of the hosts is currently using the extension. You can switch between those two hosts by tapping that button. To the right of that is a service port. It's a USB-C port that's used for updating firmware on this module if needed later on. And to complete that upgrade, you'll connect this to a local computer and simply move that firmware file over to the module. On the rear of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find a DC input port, and that's used with the power supply. You'll plug that power supply into a wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs in right there, and you can finger tighten the collar. Now, because this solution uses power over Ethernet technology, you can plug that power supply into the transmitter module or the receiver module, and the power required for the other module is sent over the LAN connection between them. To the right of that is a LAN port, and that's where one end of the Cat6 or Cat7 cable plugs in between this transmitter and the receiver. To the right of that are two USB-C ports, host 1 and host 2. These connect to your two computers you'd like to share the USB connection from with the remote location. To the right of that are two full-sized USB-A ports that can be used for peripherals here at the location where the computers are. One of them is 1.5 amps of current, the other one has 1 amp of current. And then finally to the right of that is an RS-232 connection block. This system can transfer RS-232 control signals between the locations, and if you'd like to take advantage of that, you can actually plug that connector in that comes with the kit right in there. The receiver module is very similar. Again, full metal enclosure, ventilation slots on both sides, as well as mounting holes. On the front of the unit, power indicator, link indicator, USB indicator, just like on the transmitter. Service port on the right for updating the firmware. On the rear of the module, another power port. Now again, if you're using the power supply at the transmitter module, you won't need to plug anything in there. To the right of that is a LAN port. That's where the other end of the Cat6 or Cat7 cable from the transmitter plugs in. And to the right of that are 4 USB ports, 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A. These can be used for connecting external peripherals at the remote location, like a keyboard and a mouse, or a microphone, or a camera, or even a hard drive that are immediately seen by the connected computer at the primary site. Finally, to the right of that is another RS-232 connection block for transferring those RS-232 signals between the locations. The OREI USB 3-EX2C330R-K is compatible with most modern computers, including home computer systems, commercial servers, mini PCs, laptops, and a wide range of USB peripherals. The product's features include full support of both USB 3.0 and USB 2.0 devices. It offers up to 330 feet of extension between the primary and secondary locations for the USB connection. It provides dual USB-C inputs for connecting two PCs to the system. Only a single network connection is needed between the locations, and it provides easy plug-and-play operation. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use this product with your own computer. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a mini PC that's currently connected to this monitor, and that's the USB connection that I'd like to extend to my remote location. I have the transmitter module right here. This connects to the computer and converts that USB signal into a network signal that can be sent across the Cat6 or Cat7 cable to the remote location, and then convert it back into a USB signal for connecting your peripherals. Now my first connection will be from the transmitter to my computer, and I'll use a USB-C to USB-C cable to make that connection. I'll plug one end of it into a USB-C port on the rear of the transmitter, and the other end of it into the USB-C port on the front of the computer. And now I can connect the network between the two modules. That has to be a Cat6 or a Cat7, but these can be up to 330 feet apart. I have a short Cat6 cable right here, and I'll plug that into the receiver module and the other end of it into the transmitter module. Now the only thing we're missing at this point is power, and because this solution uses power over Ethernet technology, I only need a single power supply to operate the entire solution, and I can plug that in at the receiver end or the transmitter end. So I've plugged the power supply in. The other end of the cable from that power supply has a barrel connection on it with a locking collar, and I'll plug it into the receiver. Now watch the transmitter when I plug this in. You'll see the lights come on in the front of both modules, and again, that's because the power is being sent over that same LAN cable. Both of these are going through power on self-test right now, where they're checking the internal electronics to make sure everything is working okay. They're checking for USB peripherals that are connected, and they're handshaking over this network. Now right now, I've got a mouse right here with a wireless dongle plugged into the computer, and you can see the pointer moving around. To show you that this is working, I'll remove that dongle from the computer, and I'll plug it into one of the USB-A ports on the receiver. And the minute I do that, the computer recognizes that a peripheral's been connected 330 feet away, and you can see that I can still operate the pointer. And I can connect a variety of peripherals at that remote location, including a keyboard and a mouse, maybe a camera, a microphone, even an external hard drive, that are all immediately seen by the computer at the primary side. And when I connect the keyboard and mouse in over here, I can remotely control the computer at the primary side. One other benefit this product provides is the fact that there are two USB-C ports on the rear of this unit, so I can actually connect two computers at the primary location and easily switch between them by tapping the button on the front, and those peripherals will follow whatever selection I've made with that button. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI USB 3-EX2C 330R-K USB extension kit helpful. This product provides a really easy way for you to share a USB connection from one location with a second remote location up to 330 feet away over a standard Cat6 or Cat7 LAN cable. The transmitter provides dual USB-C connections for two computers, so you can easily connect them both to the transmitter and switch between them by tapping the button on the front, and they'll immediately see whatever peripherals are connected at the remote location. The transmitter also provides two additional USB-A connections for other peripherals like a microphone or a camera or a local hard drive. The transmitter provides two USB-C ports and two USB-A ports for connecting a keyboard, a mouse, a microphone, a camera, or an additional hard drive at the remote location. And the best part is you can use the keyboard and mouse at that remote location to remotely control the computer connected at the primary location. The solution provides full support for USB 3.0 products as well as USB 2.0 products and utilizes the latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply plugged in at the transmitter or receiver end is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, which greatly simplifies your wiring. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.